Hello, just following up on the post about letting a child fail, make mistakes in order to succeed and to feel confident about their success in anything they do at all, from getting dressed to sticking something on paper or coloring, anything at all. So I find that most of us actually struggle with not overstepping when a child is doing something and we think they're struggling, and they might not necessarily be struggling actually, but we think they are. So we overstep and we try to help them before they even ask for help, and even when they do ask for help. So when you ask for help, it's because you think you're not able to do it. So the first thing we could do, we should do, is to encourage them to try even when they ask for help, but definitely not before they do ask for help. So I have 5 little tips that might help you with letting your child try, make mistakes, fail until success happens. The first one is to notice when you do that. So if the child is trying to, for example, stick something on paper and the paper gets stuck on their fingers, and you try to go in and say, no, I'll just do it, I'll take it off for you. Oh, actually I shouldn't have done that because he never asked me for help. So to notice that you've done that, that's the first step. The second step is to recognize it to the child. Say, oh, sorry, you were trying. That's really good that you were trying. Do you want me to help you? Even just that allows you to get more familiar with this process and to recognize it before it even happens next time. So to notice that you did that, to recognize it to the child so he doesn't feel like you have to do it. He can also do it. And the third step is to encourage the child to try, and to try together even. Like, you can still be there, you can guide the process, you can give him ideas or show them different ways to do it, but it'll be the child who does it. Then the fourth tip is to encourage the positive actions, not the negative. For example, if the child is trying to zip up the jacket and it's just not sticking together and it's not going up, instead of, oh, you can't do it, it's really hard, you can't do it, just focus on the positive things that he's done right. For example, try to put the right side with the left side, and then he knows how it works. He knows that you have to stick both sides together, and he's trying really hard. So focus on those positive things, and then just try to do it together, but making him feel like the child is doing it. And the last thing is to practice this. Notice, recognize, encourage. Notice, recognize, encourage. And then there'll be one day when you'll notice before it happens. You'll see the child trying to tie his shoes or put on a t-shirt that's inside out or something like that. And instead of, you'll just automatically won't jump in and overstep on that process, and you'll allow that space and time for child to realize and to do it themselves. And that's going to, in the long term, it's really going to boost their confidence and their self-esteem, and their independence. And the very last thing I want to say is why this happens. Why do we overstep when we see something that's not the way it should be? It's because of our expectations. If we think that the child's not coloring right, the child's not dressing up right, the child's not eating or holding the fork right, we're going to overstep because it should be the way we think it should be. And it's not. It's not. It doesn't have to be perfect. It does not, because all of the learning happens in the process. It's not in the result. It's the process that brings all the learning. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't matter the result, as long as that food's getting into the mouth, as long as that coat, it doesn't have to match one side with the other buttons, it doesn't have to color into the lines, as long as he's trying. So it's, if we lower our expectations, that will really benefit our children too.